Aird & Burles is a full-service Canadian firm recognized for providing high-profile corporations, financial institutions, and government entities around the world with the highest quality legal advice. We pride ourselves on our market expansion expertise. We regularly act for international companies entering Canada. In 2021, our market expansion team supported over 100 companies with their expansions into the Canadian market. Given how often we perform this work, we are also particularly cost efficient.
Our firm has over 200 lawyers across all of the business practice areas that a company expanding into Canada may require, including corporate law, tax, employment, intellectual property, leasing, environmental, among many others. We have significant bench strength in all of these areas and can easily scale our services from your initial incorporation onward. When establishing a wholly owned Canadian subsidiary, there are generally no meaningful disadvantages to incorporating provincially versus incorporating federally. The statutes are substantially similar, and there are no significant cost differences. In fact, there can be significant advantages to incorporating provincially, as the corporate statutes of certain provinces do not have direct residency requirements, such as Ontario, as Fiona will discuss in further detail. Incorporating federally does provide slightly stronger legal name protection, but it can be challenging and time-consuming to obtain federal corporate approval. Clients seeking strong brand protection should look to register a trademark to properly protect their intellectual property rights.
If you incorporate under federal law, as well as in many other Canadian provinces, your company is required to have a resident Canadian director. However, there are several provinces, including Ontario, British Columbia, and Nova Scotia, that do not have resident Canadian director requirements. As a result, for most of our foreign clients who are seeking to create a Canadian subsidiary company, we incorporate in Ontario to avoid these requirements.
Wholly owned Canadian subsidiaries can be incorporated and organized very quickly, within 1 or 2 days if necessary. All necessary documents can be signed and filed electronically, so good news, no notaries are required. That said, structuring decisions, particularly related to tax, can take additional time. Many clients seek cross-border tax advice from us before incorporating, and we certainly recommend this approach. However, once the appropriate structure is determined, we can incorporate almost immediately.
In Canada, organizations' employment relations are subject to either federal or provincial regulation, depending on their industry. Approximately only 6% of industries are governed by federal jurisdiction. Most of our clients fall within the ambit of provincial employment legislation, meaning they will be subject to different employment laws within each province they operate. Most of the regulations are fairly similar and consistent across the country, but there are important differences that employers will need to be made aware of. My very first piece of advice to clients entering Canada on the HR side is that they have us prepare an employment agreement designed to limit employer liability. In most Canadian provinces, without an employment agreement, employees are generally in a very good position and their employment is governed by the Employee Favorable Judgment Law, often referred to as common law. However, an employment agreement can and should contract out of the common law and limit employer liability. As only one example, absent an employment agreement waiving common law, a short service employee with, let's say, 3 months service could in fact be entitled to 3 months pay. This would not be the case under our preferred form of employment agreement. Using our common law waiver language, an employer would owe an employee with less than 3 months of service no notice, no pay, or only 1 week notice or pay at the employer's discretion if the employee was employed for more than 3 months and less than a year.
At Aird & Burles, we pride ourselves on our excellent legal advice and responsiveness.
We look forward to helping you with your Canadian legal needs.